Welcome to the show. This is Will Dick, your host, and welcome to the Art of Floundering and Spanky's Puppets and Comics. I want to apologize. We started late, right when we were beginning the stream on time. Something happened and I got distracted. So let's blow that grass. Tonight's episode, sorry, gang, we're not going to do puppets. Let's just chat, shall we? It's been one of those weeks, man. Probably doesn't take a genius to anybody stumbles on this page. Probably go, okay, this shit sucks and it's weird. Okay, I get it, man. So it doesn't take a genius to go, maybe the person that's doing this content is perhaps not right in the head. Guilty as charged, man. So this is just, one of those weeks where, when I got hurt in 2016, I don't recommend this as a strategy, but I will tell you my thinking. The doctors go, hey, I go first. I go, hey, doctor, this pain, it's out of control. I can't sit. I can't do anything. All I think about is killing myself. Is there any hope you can give me? Doctor goes, no, there's nothing that can be done, Tiger. So anyway, I came to a conclusion that I could be angry at the world, at my situation, and play the victim role. Or I could be super positive and look at everything as a blessing. Now, I knew that going down the negative path would be a mistake. But I also knew that I was incapable of being positive. I'm a cynic. I can't go like, gee whiz, I lost my left arm, but I'm so thankful that I've got my right arm. I'm not that guy. So when the doctors said, hey, we can't do anything in 2016, I said to myself, wait a minute, you mean we could stream a porno movie? If I wanted to stream a porno movie like librarian porn, all right, you pick it. You guys pick in the chat what kind of porn you would like to stream to Mars, because we have the technology to make that happen. If we wanted to, we could have a rover, boom, land on Mars, and then with a TV type thing, and we stream porn to any of the Martians that are there. We can do this. So I'm thinking, okay, if we have that kind of technology, maybe in a year or two, they'll come up with a technology to fix my back. Well, that's great logic, but what am I going to do about the here and now when just getting through every day is a struggle and you're just trying to not kill yourself? Well, my strategy was I will smoke a lot of pot and I will disassociate myself from reality as much as I possibly can. And it will be, and I'll try to string a couple of days together doing that. And along the way, maybe make some insane content that makes no sense to anybody, but it helps me not think about what's going on. The crazier it is, if you want any insight to my past work, the crazier it got, the more in pain I was in. It's almost like a drug. I need more, I need more. So that was my strategy. I will disassociate myself from reality, because to be in reality means I got to acknowledge the pain. I got to acknowledge everything that's really sucks. So I was not here. And that's great and everything. And I am profoundly thankful because everything I'm talking to you about is in my past. In 2023, I had that surgery that I waited 7.5 years for, dude. And I'm walking. In fact, I walked 10 miles, I hiked 10 miles. I'm 60 and I could pass for 59, man. So this is not a bummer thing, you know. But what's really weird is by disassociating, what I was really doing was not dealing with. And that's okay. I knew this. I knew I was using a strategy that had tremendous blowback. But at the same time, it was a shitty option with the least amount of blowback. So I disassociated, knowing that the day would come when I would be confronted with things that I didn't want to be confronted with at the time. And thinking, because I'm racked up in pain and shit, and you're not thinking straight. You're incapable. It's like you potheads out there that are shooting up the pot. You know, you're flipping. Okay, maybe you junkies out there can relate to what I'm saying. When you're shooting marijuana up between your toes and you're tripping out and you're not capable of making any kind of coherent decision because you are nothing more than a typical junkie potaholic. Well, that's the same thing as pain, dude. You cannot make rational decisions. So, it is what it is. And so a lot of things I probably, I could have done differently. Maybe there were some decisions I made that were stupid, but I did the best I could. And all this came home yesterday as I was sitting in my car at a stop sign and a guy bashed into me. No big deal. But I had a panic moment. What if it was a bigger accident? My back can't take much. I got 9 cages. What am I doing driving the Jeep? What am I doing in a car? Why am I leaving the house? What's going on? And all this stuff came back. And how fragile all of this is. And we all know this, and we all say these things, and we post these things, and we want to believe these things. But when these things are like real, real, it's, man, it's deep. When you really think about how fragile all this is and how you can go from one state of existence to another. Snap. And I freaked out, dude. I freaked out. Full on panic attack right there. What's going to fucking happen? I can't go through this again. Please tell me it was a fucking scene. It was a fucking scene. And I realized something. That this so-called quest that I've been on since getting well, of being this pillar of the community who will do what no one wants to do and work with people that nobody wants to work with. While that might sound noble, it's been an attempt to run away. I can't handle my own chaos, so I'll try to handle others. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big believer in getting out of self. And one of the best ways of dealing with any kind of problem is to help others. That's, to me, an absolute. Not just because it sounds cool to say and the chicks dig it, but it's true. And I believe it. But I realized that in my personal quest, that I was also not addressing what I need to address. I kept telling myself, "Hey, man, I'm doing good. Look what I'm doing. I'm working with kids. I'm working with kids that nobody gives a fuck about. I'm doing the exact fucking thing I promised the universe when I was laying down in a pool of blood and I said, you know what? Instead of dying, I'm going to stay. And if I somehow get better, I promise you, universe, you will not see me being a douchebag fucking business corporate pinhead ever again. You will not see me do destructive type work. I will dedicate the rest of my life into never forgetting the countless people that helped me and try to pay that forward and help others. And it sounds all great and noble, but I was false pride, foolish pride. But I'd sit there and I'd watch people on social media the past 2 years piss and moan. And I go like, you know what? I'm above all that. See how superior I think I am? I'm above all that because I'm not talking, I'm doing. That's what I told myself. I honestly believe that. I was like, okay, that's no different than the douchebag I was before the accident. No different. Just a different arena. But starting to get into the look at me, I'm better than the people on social media arguing. Why am I even fucking worrying about what other people are doing? What's happening? Well, that's why I made the difficult decision that unfortunately, while I love the things I get to do, that if I don't deal with the stuff that I've been avoiding dealing with, I won't be any good to anybody. That doesn't mean I'm still going to have filthy content on this channel. Make no mistake about it. But every once in a while I might drop in with something like this. And whether you like it or not, I I hope it resonates. We live in a complicated world. I'll tell you something, man. One of the things that helped is since my car was hit yesterday, it's at the shop, right? So, in addition to everything I lost, it's a comedy of fucking errors. When they took me to the hospital, they lost my wallet, so I have no ID, which means I can't rent a car. It's on and on and on. But anyway, um, so I was able to take this lift, and the dude, about my age, you know, and we're talking, and he is from Iraq, and he found out I was in the Marine Corps. We talked a little bit about that, and he was an interpreter, and he was attached to Marines in Iraq. And I'm thinking, a bunch of things I'm thinking is make no mistake about it. Anytime you look at somebody that's old, just know that they have a story. Know that everybody's got a story. But a lot of the people that we ignore, have stories and have stories we should be fucking thankful for. But I'm talking to this dude, and he was an interpreter. Came to the States about 2012. And his daughter wants to be a neurosurgeon. She's a senior in high school. And his son, who's 15, wants to be a cybersecurity engineer. And we're talking. And the thing is, he is one of these people that has flipped the script. His children will not know war and the things he had to suffer. And the fact that everything this man had to go through, and to see him thriving with kids that are thriving and growing old, that put it all into perspective. Despite the, I will tell you, it's not mentally healthy, but even when I'm in the middle of a panic attack, it's hard to explain. They suck, but I know they're not forever. But when you can't control them, or you can't say a word without crying, it's time to get help, man. And when you get to my age and you have what I call road miles, street miles, right? The people you would reach out to, the mentors, they start to go away. And, it's like when people ask me for job references, it's like they're fucking dead. I mean, can we, what do you want from me? I can make shit up. These are people I know. I'm sorry, I'm older than God's dog, man, but all my references are dead. But it's that realization as the clock ticks and you start noticing, wow, that movie star is looking old. God damn, I'm getting old. I'm getting fragile. What would happen if I get hurt again? Who the hell is going to take care of me? I went through that before. It's scary. It's really scary. And it's almost like I feel like if I don't address what's going on in my head, that kind of scary thought I'll live with every day. And that's a shitty way to live. To be going, yeah, this is great, but doomsday's coming and I'm going to die a horrible, painful death alone, unable to walk or take care of myself. See how you can get worked up, right? Like, I'm not a shrink, but I don't think that's healthy, right? So that's kind of what's going on. Why, so I go, all right, so we go, I go to this place. I'm not gonna say the name, but I tell the intake fucking person, I said, look, I am gonna be honest with you. You've got to not let me con you when I get through this. Because once I get through this, I'm going to think I have a handle on it and that I don't need any help until this happens again. So don't let me bullshit you and fucking, because in a couple days, I'm going to be on top of the world. But don't let me bullshit you. And, but we're, I mean, the questions are, it's like answering these questions honestly. Here's a tough question to answer honestly. And anybody that's been in chronic pain can tell you this. Have you thought about killing yourself? Fuck yeah. Every day I think about killing myself. Does that mean I'm suicidal? Or is that a logical response to the amount of pain I'm in? But yeah, fuck yeah. So, but that can trigger people, right? They can go like, well, wait a minute, man. We need to, put you in the cuckoo's nest. Well, but I was just honest with her, at this point. What else you going to do? But what was great was, I mean, a lot of the fucking stupid shit I used to do, I forgot about, man. Like I forgot about I used to drink a lot, so much. Like I was like a vodka drinker, man. I was one of those 24-hour drinkers, man. Full-blown alcoholic type. I forgot about all that. That was fun reminiscing down memory lane on that. But so I tell her, I said, look, I said, I'm not trying to like shit on anybody's profession, but I can't do talk therapy because if we do talk therapy, I'm just going to come in here, joke around, and nothing's going to get done. And I'm not going to be as honest as I need to be. I would prefer that we incorporate ketamine into the mix because that is when I had to do ketamine for pain management, and I've got videos of me going through ketamine treatment. I can post them on this channel. If people want to see them. Let me know in chat. I'm kind of monitoring chat. I see it. Thank you guys for the love, by the way. Appreciate it. But forgot where I was. I'll come back to it. It happens, man. It's what happens when you work with degenerates or the pot. Sometimes their potaholism rubs off on you. And to be honest with you, I've been trying to relate to the potaholic. And I thought maybe instead of lecturing them about chronic use, maybe I should engage in the chronic use to better understand their perspective. And it might have backfired on me. But anyway, so back to the fucking intake lady, right? And so I'm telling her, I said, look, man, when I was doing ketamine for pain management, it can break down 3 years worth of bullshit. You know how it takes you a while to be comfortable enough around somebody to like fart around them and shit. You know what I mean? And and just be. And we all have different time frames for that, right? But like if you're in there and you're supposed to talk about shit that you'd much rather repress and pretend never fucking happened, um, you know, if that's who you are, ketamine might fucking break those walls down quicker. So instead of spending 2 years of wasted effort to finally get to that point, you're at that point from day one. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but she totally got it. She was like, you've got, blah, 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 PTSD, talk therapy never worked for you. We only do medically assist. So I'll be doing the ketamine vibe. So it'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to where this will take me. I'm still committed, and I will always be committed to try and not look. I realize this is trash, okay, uh, but in the dimensional world, um, I'm still committed and trying to do some good. But I think I could be much better if I, you know, did it in a way, uh, from a basis of more fucking sanity on my part, man. We all struggle, just like the guy in the Lyft driver, man. We all struggle. With that said, thank you for letting me do my stream of consciousness. We are going to immediately return on this very same channel with a vertical live stream of filth, comedy, and very offensive behavior. So if that is something that is your bag, then click the little notification bell, because literally in 2 minutes after signing off, we're going to be back on with Spanky's Puppets and Comics, because enough of the deep bullshit. Life is about balance. It is about yin and yang. Yes, we all struggle. Yes, we lose people we love. Yes, there are disappointments and things that are not fair. And there's plenty to see out in our world that could lead us to believe, what the fuck? So I say that laughter, ridiculous, immature humor, inappropriate comments, and fart jokes are definitely in need. And with that said, I want to wish each and every one of you peace and love. Thank you for listening to this diatribe, this self-indulgent diatribe. I want to wish each and every one of you peace and love, and I hope you'll join us in 2 minutes when we return with an evening of puppets. Peace and love.